Hi, I am Gina Green, and I'm a former teacher. I've taught for 30 years. I've just recently retired, and my love is art. So I'm here today to hopefully help you bring some art to your classroom. I know many teachers over the years have told me art is really difficult to teach. There's a lot of prep work. It's a lot of mess. They don't really feel comfortable having an art project going in the classroom, especially if it's very young children. So today I thought I'd offer a tutorial on how to do an art project with young kids, and I'm thinking preschool to pre-K, kindergarten, first grade. So today what we're doing is we're thinking about Halloween, and so what I have for you today is a really cute painted kitty cat looking at a spider, and this would be really cute up on a wall, and I thought it would be really easy to do and darling. So I'm going to show you how to get started with that. So what I have here, put this down. What I have here is my kitty, and it's drawn, and the eyes are colored with crayon in yellow, white, and black. So I might want to do that with the children, or you can walk around and have them color. What I used to do with my kindergartners was I would have one or two children come to me and work with me at a table, and the rest would be doing something independently and quietly on their own, and I just kind of keep an eye on what everybody else was doing while I worked with the two children. So I usually would have children stand on either side of me. I would be sitting and let them stand. That seemed to work best for me. And the art materials in the middle. So you're going to need to have this template run off, and I'm going to erase my pencil giants real fast while I talk to you. You're going to have this run off into orange paper. And so what I'm going to provide for you along with the videos is some different templates. And I have some different ones here. I have this one, and I did several, so you can print off whichever ones you want. I thought a combination of having different cats doing different things would really look really cute. So I have about 4 that you can use. So I would print these off on orange paper ahead of time enough, and let the children pick which one they like best. What I always do with my students is I always have them flip the paper over and write their name on the back. And then later on, once we're done with the project, I would put their name up here in the corner. So that kind of helps it make it neat, especially if I'm planning to put these up on the walls for parents and everyone else to see. So here's how to get started. So what I've done is taken my crayons, and I have colored in around the eye. The center part is black, of course. And then I used a little bit of white right here. And that's basically how you do the eyes. And you want to make sure you tell the children to really color it in well, no white spaces or orange spaces for this project, and so that you don't want to see the paper showing through. Okay, the next part is, of course, the messy part, which is the paint. So you want a small amount of paint in the bottom of a cup. You don't need a whole lot to get going. I found these really cute little sea sponges in nice small shapes at Michael's. And if you don't want to go to the expense of buying these, you can certainly just get a plain, regular, everyday square sponge and cut it into pieces. I would cut them probably into fourths or even maybe into thirds. And then grab yourself, I don't have one with me to show you, but grab yourself a clothespin and hook the clothespin on the end. And that way the kids can use the clothespin and they're not putting their fingers in the paint. And what I always did with my little guys is I basically would dip for them. So dip it, and then you don't need a whole lot. And of course, I've gotten the sponge damp a little bit, and make sure you squeeze out almost all the water. You just want it to be the sponge to be pliable, because when they come in the bag to you, they're kind of hard. So and then just pinch it, and then you want to have them start going around the edges and trying to stay in. And it's okay if they go out of the edges a little bit, because then the sponge helps make it look like there's fur here. And I'm going to go around the edges, and they want them to fill in as much as they can. Try to leave as few orange spaces as humanly possible. And as you notice, I haven't even gone back into the paint yet, and I've done almost a third of the picture. Be really careful when you get around the eyes. You might need to guide them a little bit when you get around the eyes, so you don't end up with the eyes all painted in. All right, and around the edges. And again, I'm getting ready, and just a tiny dab, and then I just blot it on the end. You can even use a piece of paper towel to blot it, so that you don't have to worry about having a mess everywhere. So, and I'm going to come in here, and I like the small sponge because I can get into the tiny places and not have to worry about it so much. So you can even show them how to tip and tilt the sponge on its sides to get close to the eyes without actually getting inside. I would even come back and do more of it, but for today's purposes, since I don't want you watching me do this forever, I'm going to can move on. So, and then I'm going all the way down, and it's okay if it goes off the paper. If you want to, you can put a dry towel under here like I have, or you can even grab yourself a paper towel just to kind of keep it. Another teacher I knew, you got one of those great plastic tablecloths, and she just put that on the table every time she had paint out and just wipe it down afterwards, which is a super idea. You can also do plastic placemats. I used to do that, especially when my kids did Play-Doh. So anything that you can think of to protect your table without having to worry about it. I think you're better than newspaper, because the newspaper slips and slides and goes all over the floor. But this would be a great way to do that. So you're going to fill it in, and of course you're going to fill it in all the way until you get to the very end. And this might take a few minutes for the kids to do, but that's all right. And then usually what I could do, once my kids got comfortable enough that I felt that they knew what they were doing, I could then take a quick cruise away from my table and go over and make sure everybody else who was working quietly was actually working quietly and completing an activity, whatever it was I gave them. I usually gave them a cut and color and paste art project to go along with the art, since it was art time, and that they loved that, and they could color it and have a great time and kept busy without having to disrupt me at the table with the kids. If you have an adult, if you're going to have a parent in here working with you, then I would have them watch this video before, and then they'll know what to do. That's a great way to get them prepped for it without you having to spend class time, getting an adult set up. That was always another challenge when you have parents coming in. You had to spend time at least showing them what to do, and that took away from the kids. So this works out. So I'm going to just, for today's purposes, stop about here. That looks pretty good. You can go out a little bit and give it that looks at that fuzzy look of fur. So here's the kitty, and then of course you're done. So you're going to do this part for him. There's a couple of ways to add the spider. You can certainly go to Party City and pick up those little plastic spiders, which is what they did in the picture that I saw, or you can just draw one, and I'll show you a simple way to do it. You need a white crayon. I would do this. Don't let the kids do this, because you'll end up with a giant spider. And somewhere above the kitty's head at the top of the paper, you just want to draw a white web line. They call it a drag line for spiders. Okay, draw a line here. And then grab yourself a Sharpie marker. I'm going to start with the broad side of it, and I'm going to draw, get this out of the way here. All right, I'm trying to get my hand in the paint. I'll turn it so you can see. I'll turn it upside down so you can see it better. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a circle for the body. And don't make it too big. You want it to be a small spider. And then a tiny little circle for the head, just like that. And then color them in. Okay. And I like this particular pen because it has a fine pen on the other side. And then I would just draw the legs. And you want, of course, 4 on each side, especially if you're teaching about spiders. The kids will definitely see if you do not put the right number of legs on here. So there you go. And now the kitty is looking at the spider. And that's it. That's the whole project. It's super simple. It's great for fine motor skills. It's super for self-control. It's great. There's a lot of great listening skills. So art is a great thing to have the kids do. So I hope you'll go ahead and try the project, and I hope you'll let me know how it turns out. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye.